Na 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 na. Fantasy is what some ladies want, but reality is what I really need. Me hope y'all bet on me for real, and then y'all bet say my coma. I wanna be loved.
Well, my name is David Na, the winner for taxi driving. I mean, taxi drivers winner in this Unilever as of last year. David Na is coming from New Tafo in the Eastern region. But before then, life took me to Atim Dagro in the Eastern region after SHS. That was way back in 2007. I went to stay there with my auntie, and through that I was able to establish a little printing shop on my own since I was a visual arts student. So this shop excelled gradually, and then I was into t-shirt printing, signboards, and anything concerning art, fine art, and graphic design to be precisely. So I did this job for about 3 years, and you know, we say friends make and unmake humans. So I once met a friend, and this friend of mine, for security reasons, wouldn't be appropriate if I mention his name. So this friend of mine was in a very nice car, I mean very posh car, and he was like, Dave, wow, it's been a long time. So after a short conversation, he took me to his house, not knowing he's a native from that town. So we went to his house in his own car, and then I took him back to my shop and told him this is what I do for living. And he also told me he is also into a business, for which that business is a very tough and very catchy business. And I was like, what kind of business is tough and at the same time catchy? And he said it's tough, but catchy in the sense that it will make a lot of money. In a nutshell, it was fraud. So we entered into fraud. And because I was good in designing, I was able to aid him a lot in his job. So he trained me, and now I was a master of my own. So I started chatting as we normally do. Fraud, for which in our native language we call it Sakawa. But you know, I was not adding anything to it. I thought it was just something normal. So I started chatting, got a pal, and then fortunately for me, I won a little amount as at 500 CDs by then. And 500 CDs was very huge amount for me. So I was like, wow, the job is a good job. And then I added up more clients. When I talk of clients, those who understand this frauding will get me well. So I got me more clients, and I was well vested in this job for now. No, it's not a job, but I'll call it a job since that is what I do for living. So instead of me to focus on my shop, I just forgot about the shop, because the kind of money the fraud is bringing is much more higher than my shop. And you know, I don't work, I don't do anything tough, just chat overnight and then convince somebody whom you pretend to be a woman and he will be a man, thinking he's blind dating you. That's the whole secret about fraud, blind dating. So I have a fiancé abroad who is seeing me as a lady here, and then we chat, he sent me money as his girlfriend. So this business was very lucrative, negative although, but you know, when you are into such things and then it brings about money, you don't know it's good or bad. All you are concerned about is money. So the thing increased, and this a friend of mine got to know that, yeah, I'm enjoying the show. So he has to now tell me the real deal in the business. So he told me, Dave, if you don't find something to back you up as an umbrella, then you're going to be taking these coins forever and ever. I decided not to understand him, but later I understood him, because when he's coming back to the village or the town there, he brings a new car. So in summary, we got into it. and I bought 2 cars out of that. So life was very tough, but now it's very soft. So I was enjoying money, enjoying my car, with the job as a cover. People think my job is bringing the money, but it was my fraud. So the money was flowing to the extent that myself, I was afraid. But everything has an end. So we were asked to perform so many rituals and so many things. And then because of that, I was afraid a bit. So I decided to shun, because initially the rituals were concerned about animals, but now it's extending to somewhere else. So I decided to stop. And you know, you don't take anything from the devil for free. After stopping, now I had to lose all my friends, I had to lose everything I owe, and I had to lose my cars. My cars were spoiling, and then one too hit a child and died, and so I had to dash the other one. So in fact, I was now with no car, nothing, absolutely nothing. I had to start life again. And something happened. You know, I was in the car all this while for my errands. This is where taxi driving came in.
You just suffer all day, but nobody for your pain. You don't working every day. You don't try your best, but every result is the same. Cause your enemies really wanna put you to shame.
I was with 2 cars, and now I have no car. So walking out had been a problem. Going to town, boarding a commercial car was a difficult thing. Here is the case too, that my shop is down, and so I have no money, and I'm still feeling proud of myself. There's a kind of little pride because I used to have a car and now no more car. So what do I do to still have my comfort? That is being in a car without walking and having the problem of transportation, and at the same time working. So for this to work, I have to get a taxi. So the taxi will help me as a work, which will get me money. Though it wouldn't fetch me money as I used to be in the fraud, I will to save me for a couple of time. So one, the taxi was for 2 purposes: to save me from my disgrace, or that kind of pride that people will see who was in a car. So to save me from this disgrace, I had to buy the taxi. And then, for all you know, I was spending, but I helped some people alongside. So I called one of my friends again, a friend of Make Me, and now a friend is here to make me again. So I called my friend, and then my friend told me he's having an old car. It's not old, to him it's old, but to me it's not old. So long as I do some little maintenance, it will be useful. So I went to him, we negotiated that I should pick the car, use it for a while, work with it, and then pay him in bits. So I went for the car. Lo and behold, it was a garage car. So there was nothing like faults, just some scratches on it and stuff. So I had to go and work on it so that it would be used. And then I started taxi driving. Taxi driving business was very, very interesting and very, very hectic. I have to say it's interesting because you meet new people every day. You meet new faces. You encounter new characters every day. But it's hectic because you are going to be on your waist throughout the whole day. And it's a competitive job, a very, very competitive job. Because you are not the only person driving in town. There are a lot of people driving. And remember, the kind of people you are ready to pick is the same person another person is also ready to pick. So it's like a competition, like you are running a race. The survivor is the fittest. That's the way as they say it. So it's like you have no time to rest. The moment you are resting might be the moment somebody is by the roadside looking for a taxi. And if you consider it that way too, in fact, you work the whole day without eating. And it has happened to me before. So taxi driving business was very tough, but it was very interesting. And you know, as the saying goes, there is an adage which says, a local adage. It's not an old adage, but it's something which has been attributed to taxi drivers that yes, taxi drivers omo pema. You know, omo pema in what way and in what sense? I might say opema no na man impewa. What makes it say opema? So it is a ma that makes opema. You know, women will sit in your car, see the way you are driving, and then some of them will feel attractive to it. So one, we get money. That is the interesting aspect. Two, you meet new people, you meet new women, new ladies. Three, there is a chance for you meeting someone who might save you. And the money we get, you know, we always have it in mind that we'll get this money every blessed day. Because when you wake up with nothing and you have your taxi, you have your car, before you come back home, there will be money. It's not a monthly thing. And it's not a job that we might say that today when you go, at least for the whole day you wouldn't get anything. At least if you don't get anything, what you eat, you will get it. That is what makes the taxi driving interesting. Taxi driving was tough because it's not a job meant for the lazy man. If you're a lazy man, you can't be a taxi driver, honestly. Because the time you have to wake up and the time for which you have to close, it's a problem. Sometimes I wake up around 3 a.m. and then sometimes when the least time should be around 4:30. You have to be awake by then. And then you have to return home around 9. In fact, the waking up alone was a problem, but it was not a problem. Suppose you wake up and then you go on the field, and then what you want, you could get it. The money you want, you could get it. I don't think there will be any complaint about you waking up at an early time of the day. But you wake up early, for all you know, people are already in town already. And at the end of the day, the money you are expecting to get, one problem, you will not get it. And as I said earlier, this car was from a friend. And it was not free. I had to be paying. Despite it was for me to do as work and pay, as we normally use the normal term for it, I have to make it a serious point to make sales, get myself a chop money, take the car for maintenance, buy fuel, change oils, and it was a whole lot before you feed on yourself. So all these things were enclosed in the same daily amount you are making for the day. So despite we get money, all this aren't equal, my brother. As you know, all this aren't equal. There will be a day you go, fine, you get your chop money, but you will not get your daily sales. And you know you have to buy a fuel. There will be a day it will rain. When it's raining, people don't board car. Everybody is hiding. And but when the rain is somehow drizzling, with that one, people are willing to go home and then they will pick cars. And then secondly too, when students are on vacations, it's a tough work. When students are on vacation, you know, they are those who boost our job and boost our sales. But when they're on vacation, you don't get anyone to pick. It's just the couple of people who are going to their private works. Teachers will not be going, headmasters will not be going, parents will not be taking their wards to school, and so the job becomes very, very, very tough because the kind of, let me say, the customers, you pick them, they aren't there for you to pick them. And so what do? Still you have to go. As I said, I have to pay for the car. And all these things I'm talking about were happening in my hometown, which is the New Tafo, that is the Eastern region. So it was a tough plan, a tough game, but in a way it saved me from an initial stage. I was able to pay for the taxi and it became mine. But one day something happened. So she called me once and then I went to pick her. When we were going and she asked me, is this the taxi driving I do for living? I said yes. And she said, am I not having any certificates? And I told her I'm an SHS leaver. So she asked me, why am I not furthering my education, but instead trying to be into taxi driving. So she advised me that if it would be in my interest, I should engage back into the school. So in fact, that night I couldn't sleep. I thought of it overnight. And I was like, wow, this woman has said something nice. So I had to ponder over it. And then, lo and behold, I started thinking, and I decided to start saving. So that night I went to pick my certificate again, have a look at it, and I smiled. And I told myself, okay, very well, I have to be back to school. I bought matured forms, and then I came in to write the entrance exams. By the grace of God, I got the admission. That is at the University of Education, Winneba campus. So I decided to sell the car from the onset, so that I'll get the money and put it at the bank, which can take care of me. But later I realized, what if there had been increment in the fees, and now the car has been sold, and the money there is not sufficient to take me through the 4 years? So it was not a wise decision, I said to myself. So I had to come back to my senses and bring the car back to school and try that and see if I can work with the car at the same time with the school. In fact, it was a tough decision, but I had no option.
Rough Town Records.
People saw the award to be partial. Some people saw it to be partial because they see themselves to be working throughout morning, afternoon, evening, and then I am a part-time, let's say a part-time taxi driver, because as I said earlier, I was combining the two, going for lectures and then doing the driving same time. But the criteria for which the selection was made, they didn't understand. The criteria was that the people who go round to select the, let me say, the nominees, one, they come dawn, and then at late at night. And you know, because of my lectures, early dawn, I go and do early dawn work. When it's time for lectures, I go for my lectures. After lectures, after the close of lectures, that is somewhere 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., I just get back to the taxi driving. So they were like, how is it possible? And then I told them it was out of hard work. And they said, good, then it means they are ready to award a hard-working taxi driver. That came in that I won that prize as the best taxi driver for last year. It was out of hard work. Long live Ghana, long live UEW, long live my colleague taxi drivers. God bless you all.
For the Father to bless me.